Guys, can you hear it? Can you hear it? Can you hear it? Ah, yeah, it's okay. It's just a fart sound of my new mount. Hey, what is Snow Squad? It's your boy Snow, and we are back again here on the All-Star Tower Defense. And as you guys can see, I'm now riding the new mount, and not gonna lie guys, it looks crap. It's okay, it doesn't really matter, at least that's an achievement, and guess what guys? Guess what? Oh my... Oh, bless me. That was terrible. Anyway, guys, whenever I'm checking the Discord server, a lot of them are actually requesting for the developers to nerf the newest map. And on this video, I'm going to share you guys and probably teach you some ways on how to beat it solo. But anyway, guys, without further ado, let's now jump into it. If you're one of those people who actually watch my video on how to solo beers, you might have already seen that I'm using Oreo. And up until now, I haven't leveled him up, probably soon, but yeah, up until now, we will be using Oreo as our main anti-air unit. I'm not actually recording when I play this because, of course, you know, we need to have some big brain time while you are recording and while you are actually beating the map. Since you are solo, definitely every position of your units actually matters. Oreo is on the back seat, and it's now about time for us to have another DPS here, so that would be our Pain. And take note, guys, on how am I putting our Pain here, because that would play a very big role later. Since Oreo will be our last line of defense, at least in the early game, make sure guys that you are always checking this part, because sometimes, or if ever it will be needed, if you do not have Pain, if it will be needed, then you really have to put more Oreos here. But actually the stage number 2, you only need 2 Oreos. If you also got Pain just like me, making him to upgrade number 3 is your best bet. This is because it will activate its full AoE mode, and that would really help you to clear the mobs faster. Alright, at this point, I will now have enough money to upgrade Pain again, so at around wave number 5 to wave number 6, you should now already have an AoE unit placed, because if not, then you will be in trouble. Take note of this placing, guys, because later on, upon upgrading Pain, of course, you're also gaining range, and it will actually reach the other line later, and I was just experimenting that position at this point, but yeah, it actually worked. You will notice, guys, that Pain is really good for this map because it has multiple corners, so you can really fully utilize his 360-degree AoE. And it's now about time for me to put Dio, because of course we will be needing Dio's stun effect. It's the Zawarudo, right? Zawarudo. So I'm really sorry guys if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but Zawarudo is the thing that would actually help us on this run later. It's not only Pain who can actually reach the line there, it's also Dio, but later on guys, you will see what I mean. I don't know what I'm thinking here. Probably I was just a little bit anxious about the air units because, again guys, this would be my very first time on using Dio and partnering him with Pain, so that's the reason why I still do not know what's the most efficient way of using my units. The idea of this strategy is plain and simple. You just have to make sure that before they get past, or all these ground units should be killed before they even pass, so that Oreo behind will be able to take care of the air units. If Oreo will be busy on hitting those ground units, then you will be in trouble because you would no longer have any air support. You guys might be wondering, why am I not using my Goku or probably Frieza? The reason why, guys, is because it will be a bit more expensive, and in solos you really have to save your money because you're just literally getting the same amount of cash. And yeah, that's the reason why you have to spend your money wisely, and you're better off with Oreo instead. You can actually see here, guys, how am I using a Dio. I'm not only spamming the Zawarudo or the special skill of Dio here, and now I max Dio out, and take a look at the top right corner, guys. Look at what's happening there. So first of all, his range can barely only reach that place, but it's already good enough to affect the enemies and also to be able to hit them as well. Still do not know the estimate money that I can get, so that's the reason why I put Frieza here. But just to tell you, you know, a little bit of spoiler, Frieza is not really a very good unit here, at least for my roster. If you really wanted to use Frieza, and if you do not have any other anti-air unit, you can just copy the placement of my Frieza here, because as you guys can see, it can reach the enemies just up there because its range is really good. So That's the reason why this position for Frieza is really OP as well. Since I noticed that it's already wave 14 and we are still good for our defense here, at least for the beginning, I now started to put Aaron's, and that will really help us a lot because, you know, Aaron's a spawner unit anyway. By the way guys, it's a lot wiser for you to just put down 8 errands before upgrading them, because upgrading one by one to max would be really expensive, and in fact if you are soloing, most of the time you would not have enough money to max out every errand. Wave 15 now, and this is actually the hardest part of every single stages on this new world. It's not about the boss, alright? It's not about the boss, it is these running wave. Alright, they move so fast and they're so tanky that sometimes you would not really have enough time, and that's the reason why Dio 5-star is really good for this map, because you can literally just stun them and, you know, just get some free damage at the same time. And as you guys can see, I really thought that I am already in trouble here, and I'm just spamming my Zawarudo skill here, because if you don't know it, by the way guys, if you did not know it, if you were just clicking, or if you just click Dio once, you would not actually see the Zawarudo skill icon reset it. And as you guys can see, our last line of defense is now putting on to work. It's really important for you guys to always watch out the HP of the mobs, because that would help you to make your decisions much wiser depending on the situation. As you guys can see here, it's the Aaron who actually saved this run, and you can see that there's no way for these mobs to get past through the Aaron spawns, because it's just not gonna be enough for them. So of course the next thing that we need to deal with now is the boss himself, and it's not gonna be that hard, especially with Dio, because of the bleeding effect and also the stun. That's really easy. At this point, it's already obvious that we already have won the run, but yeah, I'm just not sure why am I not using the money here. Probably I'm just, I don't know, maybe doing something else. No, actually I'm moving, so maybe I'm just literally making Dio to feel the slow death. I don't know, it can be savage sometimes. But anyway, yeah, that's the start of me creating the ultimate game plan for this map. This is now gonna be the stage 3 of the Pillar Man world, and as you guys can see, I decided to add more firepower to our primary units, like 3 paints, I believe 3 paints and 2 Dios, because I actually failed multiple times, and it's all about the wave number 15. I just do not have enough damage, and that was really a perfect timing to hit Dio. And as you guys can see, I'm already also starting to put errands down. As I mentioned earlier, it's really important for you to monitor the HP of the mobs, and that's the reason why I put pain here, because I already can see that the HP of those mobs are not really that much. And yeah, the spawn of Aaron will just eat them, and look at that guys, look at that. 162, and I think that one Aaron actually would clutch it. So it's now about time for us to just take care of the boss, which is gonna be easy again because we have our OP 5-star Dio. And by the way guys, just always make sure that you are selling the unit, especially the pain, because pain's damage is really nothing for the boss anyway. We always have enough firepower to just literally obliterate the HP of the boss, even though it's really high, to be honest. And if I did not have Dio, I'm pretty sure that I would not be successful here. It's just really ironic and also funny at the same time that a JoJo map can be beaten because of Dio. This is now the wave 15 for the stage number 4 for Pillar Man world, and as you guys can see, I just zoomed in and just trying to make sure that my Dio is still hitting the mobs, because it's really important guys. It's really important to always get a free hit. DPS is still DPS, it doesn't really matter. And also the road roller would also stun some of those running mobs. Those are not the decelerate, alright? The running mobs, in my opinion, is really worse compared to the decelerate, because at least the decelerate is really stopping, or they're decelerating, alright? But there are these mobs who are just literally running all the way to your base, and that's really the hardest mob to deal with. So yeah, that's the reason why guys, especially if you are already on the higher stages, well, this is now the stage number 4. As you guys can see, I'm literally just trying to always make sure that I am making the most out of my Dio Zawarudo. And keep in mind guys that I'm not maxing all of my Dios, alright? Because on upgrade number 3, you will already have the Zawarudo. The only difference of having the road roller is that it actually deals an AoE damage as well, but it's just not worth it. It's not also possible for you to max every Dio, because that's gonna be more expensive. Guys, look at this MVP move right here. As you guys can see, the HP of the mobs are like 500. It's a lot, all right? It's a lot. So I do not have money as well. That's the reason why I need to sell my pain and just literally put my air in as fast as I can, while also trying to make sure that the boss is also getting stunned from time to time. So as you guys can see here, I'm just literally selling like a maniac, and yeah, it's really a must, guys. All right, it's really a must, especially if you are also a solo player. I mean, it's not that I do not want to play with others, it's just the fact that I love the challenge as a solo player, but sometimes there will be some limitations depending on the roster that you've got. But pretty sure, guys, that if you got the same recipe just like what I used here, it will be possible. Well, at this point, the boss is already about to die. Well, not really, but you know, we can just stun the boss using our Dios, and yeah, he's just gonna die anyway. So, yep, GG for the stage number 4. We're now to stage number 5, and not gonna lie, guys, of course every stage it gets harder and harder, and of course my strategy later on the last stage is probably the best strategy for this map, because there's no difference about the boss, there's no difference about the mobs, it's just their HP. It keeps getting higher. It really pushed me to think of a better and more efficient way on how to spend my money and where should I put my unit, because it was really a must, and it's not really that easy. Again, it took me a couple of tries for the wave number 5, but later on, guys, on wave number 6, I mean not wave number 5 but stage number 5, but later on, guys, you will see the ultimate plan for the final boss. And yeah, it was really easy at this point. You guys saw that, right? No errands at all, no errand, but we managed to keep up with the final wave. Yeah, at this point it's only the boss, and you already have seen this multiple times. It's basically done at this point. It's basically done. Later on, guys, it's gonna be crazy for the final boss. Alright, this is now the final stage, wave number 15. And as you guys can see, take note, guys, take note that I only used 3 paints here because I decided to put more Dio, but max them out. Alright, they're not all maxed, okay? They're not all maxed. And I also decided to put Dio, 2 Dios here. It's no longer Pain and Dio. I decided to put 2 Dios here because I really think that Dio's bleeding damage is really important for those very tanky units. Always set your Dio to strongest, guys. I'm not sure if you already have noticed it, but all of my Dios are on the strongest so that the bleeding effect will be really efficient at best if it's on the strongest. This was a crazy run and I still can remember it. You guys can see that it seems that it's already the end for us, alright? But look at that, guys. There's a lot of mobs coming here, and of course, just like what I did earlier on the previous stage, just sold some of my units and also need to take care of the boss. And look at that, guys. It's very clutch errands, and just another one and another one again. We're actually taking damage, alright? We are actually taking damage, and at this point, look at that, 163 HP of the base, but luckily, we managed to survive. But it's not only about the luck. I think that if I just put one pain instead of 1 Dio there, would have been already a clear, but yeah, that could happen, you know, experimentation of those units as well. Part of the game. Alright, at this point, guys, the boss is still tanky, and I'm not really panicking, of course. I'm just trying to make sure that I can still utilize the whole range of Dio. And the good thing about Dio here is because not only that he can stun the boss, but it can also deal the bleeding damage. So even if your Dio would no longer be in range of the boss, there's still a chance that even if you will sell Dio, the bleeding effect will still be left on the boss body, and that's really a nice feature for him to have, to be honest. I really thought here, guys, that this is gonna be the end because the boss is still at 4k HP, and I really need to sell a bunch of stuff here just for me to have my final push as well. The boss HP is still almost at 3k, and the boss is almost at my base already. He's already at my base. But of course, we just need to cycle our errand to get an instant 300 plus damage. And there you go. It's not a clutch errand. It's not a clutch errand, but yeah, That's the way how you do it, guys. Solo, no problem. So there you have it, guys. That is how I soloed everything on the newest world here on All-Star Tower Defense. I hope that this video will help those people who cannot find the right teammate, or probably who just wanted to solo it. And again, Dio and Pain tandem is really good on the map. But yeah, as you guys have seen, it was mostly because of Dio. Everyone was just a supporting cast, and it was just because of Dio's stun, bleeding effect, and also a little bit of that AoE damage at max. But anyway, guys, if this video helps you a lot, or probably you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to leave a like and of course subscribe. And I'll see you guys again on the next one. Stay cold. Peace out.